Good morning, BST. My name is Elijah Abdul Sayed, and welcome to this episode of BST Talks.
Hello, Cowboys. I'm the co-host of this podcast, Brady Volkman, and welcome to the first BST Talks episode for this school year, How to Succeed in Your Freshman Classes.
Today, we will be interviewing BST sophomores and asking them to give some tips on how to succeed in their classes from last year for the new freshmen.
The first class we will be providing tips on is Integrated Math 2 Honors, where we will be interviewing Madeline Cho, a sophomore at BST.
In my opinion, the funnest thing about integrated math 2 were the projects, and they were all really fun to me. And a mindset I would recommend when going into your math class is to finish all your work in class, because that means you won't have any homework. And the best way to study is to use Ms. Bashard's review packets, because they help so much and she gives a really good explanation on the solutions.
The next class we will discuss is AP Computer Science Principles, where we will be interviewing two sophomores, Raul and Jill.
The best way I found to study for the AP exam was to review practice MCQ tests that Dr. Collins had us take, and then just overall review the questions you got wrong. It's the best way to figure out what your weaknesses are before the AP exam so that you can study and improve on those skills.
Some tips that I would give on how to succeed in AP Computer Science Principles is to do the work and stay at the pace that Dr. Collins tells you, because everything you learn is going to come back later in the class, and this will help you make sure that you're not going to fall behind. Also, remember the vocabulary, because that's going to come back also.
Now, we will talk to Ann Chang about how she was able to persevere through AP Biology.
For me, I found that keeping my notes organized really helps me review and study for tests. I also find that watching AP Biology videos on YouTube, like Crash Course, Bozeman Science, and the Amoeba Sisters, really helps me with understanding the concepts.
Next, we will talk about English 9 Honors by interviewing Samantha.
In order to succeed in English 9 Honors, some tips that I'd like to recommend are not to slack off on the readings and ask for help or advice when you need it. With the readings, Miss Parker can tell whether you've read or not. Sometimes she's nice and lets it go, but she also gives a lot of pop quizzes when you least expect it, so it's always better to be prepared. Next up, asking for help. Whenever we have to write essays or do any projects that involve writing, I make sure to have a chance to let her look over it and make sure it looks good. She has caught several mistakes and has given me great advice on my work. Without her, it wouldn't be anywhere near as good. You don't always have to check in with her specifically. You could ask anyone, really. Just have a second set of eyes, look over your work, and you'll be good.
Now, we will discuss AP Human Geography, where we will interview Natalia Reynoso, a current sophomore at BST.
Walking into this class, I definitely walk in with just an open mindset. I'm sure many people aren't going to know what to think because nobody's taken this class, but I think coming in with a positive attitude is really important, because I think if you don't close off your mind too early, it's really, really easy to love this class, and it'll definitely change the way you see the world and honestly better you as a person.
Thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next time for a new episode, How to Succeed in Your Sophomore Classes.
And remember, be your best at BST.
Good morning,